Hi, my Wolfies, and welcome to the Candle Magick Class. I am your host, Claudia Garza with Courageous Wolf Tarot. I'm a psychic tarot reader and healer, and I'm going to show you candle divination, ways that you can manifest through the use of your candle with herbs. I will also be going over candle divination, how to read the candle flame and wax, and we'll go over a few interpretations of that. You're going to learn different rules and tips and tricks for candle divination and how to start your candle magic journey. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to say is a little disclaimer, okay, before we begin. I do use white magic in my candle practices, okay? I don't use any kind of evil or dark or any type of negative energies when doing candle work. It's all for the benefit of thyself. It's all about manifestation or releasing things that no longer serve you. But I always start with a bubble of protection and a bubble of light to protect myself. And we'll get into that as we talk about the candle magic journey. So let's first start off with color candle magic. So did you know that each color of your candle represents something different? All right, so let's start off with the white candle. So white candles typically mean spirituality. They also mean truth and strength and purity and purification, right? So white is used in a lot of rituals for that reason and that reason alone, also for meditation. It's also a very versatile candle as well. So white you can use pretty much for anything. The pink candle is good for love. It's also good for friendship and harmony. So if you want to promote self-love or do a self-love ritual or a love attraction ritual, you can use a pink candle. Red is for sexuality and strength and physical health. It's also good for passion and for protection. So it's always nice to use red for some of those things. Orange is for courage, communication, solving of legal problems, concentration, and encouragement. Yellow, my favorite candle, is for prosperity, confidence, charm, abundance, and happiness as well. Green is a lot of times used for wealth and prosperity, for money candle rituals. It's also good for luck, good fortune, and fertility. Blue candles are used typically for psychic and spiritual awareness. It's also good for peace and tranquility, prophetic dreams, and used for the throat chakra, okay? Purple is good for ambition, ruling authority, reversing a curse. It's good for speeding healing in illness. The gold candle is also good for enlightenment, masculine principle. It rules the sun. It's good for protection. It can be used for prosperity and abundance as well if you want to use the gold. Silver candles are good for intuition, your subconscious, feminine principle, and the moon. So if you want to tap more into your intuition and your spiritual gifts, you can use silver as your candle. Brown candles are good for household problems and protecting pets. They're good for attracting help in financial crisis. Gray candles are good for cancellation, stalemate, neutrality. And black. Black is always good. Black candles are good for protection and releasement, negativity, banishment, and removal of hexes. So if you want to start using candle magic in your everyday life, just know that these colors are representative of a bunch of different things that can really help you to heal. Okay, it can help you to manifest whatever you want to call in. And it's also good, like I said, for releasing any kind of negative energy or forces around you. Okay, so now let's get into some of the herbs, because I will teach you how you can use herbs and you can use colors to help you with your manifestations. So there's different types of herbs in Candle Magic, okay? There is a list that I have included if you purchase my Candle Magick Class, which is on my website. I'll also link it down in the description below, but you can purchase my material, my reading material for my class that you can keep forever and ever. So the candle herbs that I have listed, these are a few good ones to always keep in your pantry or just to keep on you, because typically they are for the benefit of your manifestations. They can really help you call in what you want to call into your life. So we'll start off with the herb calendula. Calendula is like a beautiful flower. I absolutely love it. It promotes happiness, prosperity, and abundance. So if you are looking to manifest that, you can always use calendula. I also have chamomile, which is good for, as you guys know, chamomile tea. It's good for relaxation, dream work, good luck. It's also good, like I said, in teas to help with anxiety and tranquility, to calm the nervous system. The blue lotus it's a good herb. The blue lotus, it looks like a flower. It's good for divination, dream work, and vivid dreams. Angelic root is good for promoting healing. Bay leaves are always good for protection, warding off evil, rituals of purification, and good luck. Peppermint is good for communication and clarity. Rosemary is always nice to have on hand for your protection spells and your banishments. Cloves are good for removal of hexes and also for protection. Salt is always good for protection and purity. Black salt is good for protection, banishment, and removal of evil eye and hexes. White oak is a good herb for removal of negative energy and forces. And sage is always nice to have for purification and protection. Okay, so these are the herbs that I have listed. There are countless amount of herbs out there. Visit your local herbalist or get to know a little bit more about different herbs and what communicates to you, what speaks to you. Okay, but these are some of them that I like to have on hand. Now, when you are starting your candle work and you start dressing your candles, there is a candle oil and anointment that I like to talk about. Anointing your candles is good because that is something that seals your energy, you and the candle's energy. So let's say, for example, I want to do a prosperity ritual and I want to use a yellow or gold candle for that, or a green candle. What you would do is you would anoint your candle. So you would put a little bit of oil on your candle. There's different types of oils that I'll go over, and you will anoint it. This is what's called anointing, is you put a little bit of oil and you seal your wick with the anointing oil. It's good for conjuring rituals. You'll hear about conjuring oils. That's basically anointing. That's a spell or ritual oil that you will use in your manifestations. A couple of the oils that I have listed here for candle divination work is, if you don't have any kind of specific oils, you can always use olive oil on your candle to dress it. Just put a little bit of oil. You only have to use about 3 or 4 drops. Don't put too much because it's very flammable. So just keep in mind when you're doing candle work is to not put a lot of oil on your candle, as it can be very flammable, okay, and hazardous. So always look out. Olive oil can be used for dressing your candle. A good oil to also use is called manifestation oil. You can find that online or on Amazon. Releasing oil, you can also do some releasing oil for the full moon rituals or for any type of releasing banishment of negativity. I also have an oil that's called Protect My Spirit, which helps with protecting your spirit against any kind of negative energy. You can also use a road opener oil to open up all your roads in money and love and career. You can put something like that. You can also use dragon's blood oil, John the Conqueror oil, which is good for attraction, money, and love. And just like I said, be careful to not anoint your candle too much, as the oil is flammable. So those are some of the oils. I can also pin in the link in the description a few places where you can purchase some conjuring oils. So the next thing I have is I want to talk about the rituals and how to start different type of steps for your rituals and your candles. There's about 7 steps that I have to starting a ritual or a spell when it comes to your manifestations or what you want to release. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to cleanse your space before you start lighting up your candle and manifesting. You want to cleanse the area because it's very important to take a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, to meditate and clear your space before you do any type of candle magic work, because you want to clear the space of any negative energy, okay? So this also involves cleansing the material that you use. So you want to gather all your material. You want to gather your fireproof safe plate that you want to place your candle on, or a flat surface or a flat tray. You want to cleanse your herbs, you want to cleanse your candle, your oil, and basically your space. You want to create a bubble around you and protect yourself at all costs. Also, you do want to, if you do have anything that can help you with cleansing your space, I would suggest using sage or incense or a smudge spray, some sort of cleansing, so that you can feel like you are protected in your space and in your bubble before you start any practices. So what you want to do is you do want to cleanse all your material, and after you do that, you can start anointing your candle. So a few things you can do to start your manifestation ritual. You can write any kind of protection or manifestation symbols. You can take a carving tool, or you can take a pen if you want, and you can write your name and what you want to bring in. You can get very specific, and you can actually write that on your candle, which I like to do because it just seals and binds everything together. And then once you do that, you can start anointing your candle with the oils that I suggested. Then you will take a mix of the herbs that you would like. There's different recipes on different manifestations that you can look online. If you purchase my Candle Magick class on my website, I do give you a money spell recipe that you can use to help you attract wealth and prosperity. But you can use anything that you find online, or you can just create your own spell, your own recipe if you'd like. That's something that I typically like to do, as I've been doing this for a while. I really like to create my own spells and rituals by using herbs that I feel that are abundant to me, that I connect with. So after you anoint your candle, you want to put your herbs, okay? You don't have to put too many herbs on here. They will all eventually catch on fire. So just, you don't have to go super heavy on the herbs, but you do want to make sure that you have some herbs on your candle. You can also put some herbs around your candle. Once you stick your candle on your plate, you can put some herbs around your candle as like a ring of protection and a ring of wealth. It's all about visualization, okay, when you are manifesting. So the first thing that you're going to do after you have dressed your candle and anointed your candle, you are going to open up your circle, okay? This is called opening up the circle because it's important before any ritual that you create a protection bubble around you and you open up the circle. Now, there's a few ways that you can do this. I typically like using an incense stick, and it's kind of like cast a spell. I will say a prayer or a blessing or an affirmation, and I will chant that out loud. You can say it out loud, you can say it in your mind if you want to keep it to yourself, but I basically start clockwise, okay? So I will clockwise open up the circle by protecting my space and my bubble all around me, and I will say a nice incantation or a blessing to help me to open up the space. As soon as you feel comfortable with that, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start lighting and manifesting. So you're going to stick your candle on your plate. You can light the bottom until the wax kind of melts, and then you'll stick your candle on your plate. And then this is the important part, okay? The most important part is the manifestation prayer blessing, or what you say out loud. Remember, as you are dressing up your candle, learn to visualize what you want to attract as if it's already there, to bring it in, okay? So you want to Clockwise, open up your circle, bless your candle in a clockwise motion. Now, if you wanted to do a releasing, if you wanted to do some sort of banishment or releasing of negativity, then I would open up the circle and I would actually go counterclockwise around my candle. And I would go counterclockwise if I was doing a releasing or a banishment ritual. But for this purposes, for manifestation purposes, let's do the clockwise for now. So we'll go ahead and do the clockwise for bringing whatever we want in. And like I said, the most important part is the energy and the ritual, the prayer or the blessing, the energy that goes into your candle. That's what's going to really have the ritual strengthen, is by your energy and what you put in and your manifestation and your visualization. So the more specific that you can get, the better. If you want, you can write down what you want to manifest and you can read it out loud. You can call on your spirit guides or your spirit guide angels or whatever spirit that you feel closest to. You can ask them for guidance and help as you start saying your incantation and you start manifesting the things that you want. After that, you will light your candle. And the most important thing to do, this is step 5. We've gone through a few steps already, but step 5 is to light your candle and to manifest and really visualize the goal of the ritual, okay? After you do that, it's very important for you to not leave your candle work when you're working with these kind of candles, these chime candles, where you can really see and interpret the wax as it's falling. Remember, it's nice to have some sort of flat surface or candles, fire safe, candle proof plate or flat surface like a tray, something where you can see, or a mirror, just a flat surface where you can see the candle and the candle wax drip, if there's any drip, okay? So that's the most important thing. Do not leave the candle unattended. That's the worst thing you can do because it is a powerful candle flame. It's fire. You're dealing with the element of fire, so it's very important to not leave it unattended because you never know what can happen. So disclaimer, don't leave when you're doing any candle work. Make sure you set enough time to make sure that you're going to be there for a few hours, or depending on how long it takes for your candle to extinguish, okay? So yeah, the most important thing you're going to do is you're going to watch the flame and don't leave the circle, okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to watch your flame and you're going to interpret the flame by how it starts performing for you. So is it a tall flame? Is it a short flame? Is it kind of a weak, low energy flame? Is it a steady flame? Does it flicker? Does it dance? Does it jump? So there's different interpretations regarding the flame. And I'm going to go ahead and speak a few of these interpretations to you so you have more of a basic understanding. Again, if you want the reading material for this video, you can purchase it on my website at courageouswolftarot.com. I'll also link it in the description below so you can look at my reading material as you are watching this video. And you can pause at any time, rewind, or fast forward at any parts. So the next thing that we're going to be learning during this process is a flame interpretation and how to interpret your candle flame. Because did you know that the candle flame actually represents different things? And that is basically the meaning or interpretation of how your spell or ritual is going to go. So if it's a high flame, then that's usually an indication that you're feeling very confident about your ritual and that the power that you have submitted and invested in this candle is at its fullest potential, and that your spell or your ritual will reflect that, okay? So a high flame is always very good. A small and low flame could be from a lack of energy. So just be patient and watch to see if the low flame changes or if it stays the same. If it's a low flame, it could mean that it's going to take a lot longer for your ritual to come into fruition. It also could mean that you haven't really given enough energy or thought to your ritual, and you might have to start all over again depending on your flame, and like I said, judging the flame and just seeing if it changes at all during the candle melting process. A blue candle flame, sometimes you'll see there'll be a blue flame. That shows that a spirit guide is near you and is willing to hear you. The large and bright candle flame, where there's kind of like a ring of aura, like it's super bright, it means that it is a powerful spell or manifestation that will be. If you hear some sort of crackle or pop, this could mean that a spirit guide of yours is trying to communicate with you, so listen closely. The dancing candle flame, where it jumps left and right and all over the place, if it moves from side to side, it could be because it holds too much power. A spell cast over dancing flame can go tremendously well. Okay, if the flame jumps, the more resistance it'll have against a spell or ritual. The shorter the flame, the easier casting the spell will be. Okay, so also you might get a flickering candle flame. If the flame flickers north, your spell has made a physical mark. If it flickers south, the energy still surrounds you. If it flickers east, it means that a mental part of your spell has taken effect. And if the flame flickers west, that means strong emotions are tied to your spell. A crackling flame could also be a sign that you're personally dealing with communication issues, so pay attention. Take a moment to reflect on what you're manifesting. If the flame appears normal, then everything is going to be as planned. If a flame suddenly goes out on its own, it could be a sign that your work is actually complete and the spirits have received your power. And if it does extinguish, you can try relighting it again, or you can just stop. Okay, it's up to you. If the flame is abnormally bright, it may happen when spirits want to capture your attention. And then we have, this is my favorite, the dual flames. Sometimes there'll be two flames. That's said to believe that two flames are a sign of two spirits, two spirit guides that are working together for you, for your ritual work. Okay. Also pay attention to any smoke that comes out of your candle. If it's black smoke, usually it's a sign of maybe there's a negative energy around you, or maybe you're kind of feeling down that day, or there's some sort of negativity around you. Okay. White smoke is usually a sign of positivity and good luck. Okay. So just always be aware. And what I would do is, as you are sitting close to your candle and you're observing it, I would always try to write down my observations on a piece of paper so I can look back and reference them later on as you see how long it takes for your manifestations to come in. Some are quicker than others. So it just depends on what you're manifesting, on how quick or how slow it takes for things to come in, obviously based on your circumstances, but I would write everything down as an observation. It's always good to write things down as you start observing things. And if you plan to continue doing candle magic as part of your life, and you enjoy candles and the element of fire, and you feel like this is your jam, this is what you want to dedicate yourself to, and this works for you, I would definitely keep a journal or a notepad on your interpretation of the candles, because it will change. It will eventually change. All right, so let's say that the candle has extinguished on its own. If you feel like the flame is getting way too flammable, you can always sniff it out. There are sniffers online at the store. I can link it here down below in the description as well. But there are, you can also put like a fire safe plate over your flame if it's too high. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to blow it out. Don't blow it out like a birthday cake candle. Do not do that, because it is believed that your manifestation won't come in if you do that. Always try to snuff it out, okay? But if you feel like it's getting too flammable and you feel like it's not working for you and you're too scared to have the flame continue going on, you can sniff it out, okay? I always highly recommend that. So the last section of the Candle Magick step-by-step process is how to interpret wax. Okay, so let's say you are finished with your candle work and there's a pool full of wax and you want to interpret the wax. Did you know that by interpreting the wax, you can actually predict your manifestation or what's going around you, or maybe what's preventing things from not coming in? There is an interpretation to everything. So when you're observing wax, and like I said, the more practice, the more perfect you become. So the more practice that you have on these type of rituals and manifestations, the more you're going to be more intuitive on what these candle wax means for you. Okay, so let's go through some of these wax interpretations. So sometimes wax flows out of the candle and then dries and then flows out and dries again. So sometimes there's like a river or a stream along the sides of the candles at times too. This is a sign that change is in your future and also a sign of growth. If it's kind of like a cratered candle, when the wick burns down into the middle of the candle and a wall of wax is on all sides, that might be a sign that something is blocking your intention. Okay, so if there's kind of like a wall between between the wick and everything else, that means there's a block. If the candle wax cascades down like a waterfall, if it cascades down, it usually means that change is on the way. Okay, so help is on the way, change is on the way. If it splits or if there's flooding on the wax pool around the wick and then comes rushing all at once from a split on the side of a candle, this is an indicator that your manifestations or spells are especially powerful. Okay, and each side of your candle corresponds to an element. So the west side of the candle is water and emotions. The north is earth and physical sensation. The east is air and communication. And the south is matters of willpower. Okay. If your candle burns through only one side, that may be experiencing blockages. So if it's only on the west side, maybe your emotions are getting the best out of you. If it only falls on the east side, if there's a pool of wax on the east side, it could mean that there's some communication issues. If there's blockages on the front part, there could be that there's physical issues like money or finances, like monetary things or physical things that you can see here on earth. If it's on the south side, it could also mean, like I said, willpower, so blockages with willpower. So just keep in mind that every candle manifestation will be different. Every candle wax that you see that's left behind will be different for everyone, okay? You can also notice, this is why it's good to keep track of your candle work by writing things down. You might notice sometimes that when your candle spell is done and you're left with the wax, that you'll see images on the wax. You can see birds, you can see butterflies. When you see these, it means it's a symbol of luck and manifestation power. You might see a heart. You'll find new love, or an existing love will strengthen. If you see moons or crescents, a message of fame and prosperity. If you see numbers, that means time in weeks or years until a significant event. If you see a snake, enemies or misfortune lurk nearby. If you see triangles in your wax, it could signify a sign of unexpected good fortune. If you see letters or initials, it could be a person will play a significant role in your life. If part of the candle remains after the flame extinguishes, it means that there's unfinished business related to your question that will need to be resolved. Okay, so if the candle is still standing, but it's like the flame extinguished by itself, there might be an unresolved problem. So these are the type of interpretations, and I know there's plenty more online, but as soon as you start doing your candle work and you start getting into it, the more you practice, you dedicate, the more you will be more in tune with your intuition and be able to interpret the messages. Okay, so don't be hard on yourself if you feel like I can't interpret the wax. And if you really feel like you want more of a deep analysis of your wax, contact your psychic, your reader, your candle divination interpreter. You can contact people to help you to interpret the wax, but these are some of the basics that you need in your tool belt, in your toolbox, okay? And then, like I said, I did include a money spell ritual for this class. So if you would like to attend a following Candle Magick class that I teach or host, you can go on my website and you can sign up for the next Candle Magick class. You can also sign up for a few list of other services, but you can start downloading the Candle Magick reading material so that you can have it forever and ever, and you can follow along with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more candle divination work, and I'll see you guys later on live. Bye.